Hello, delighted to meet you. So I have in my hand, like this one, a collection of letters, old, dusty and fascinating letters that tell the adventure of Annabelle Underwood and take place at the beginning of the 20th century. In this video, all you have to do is listen and enjoy the story. Also, I'll create for this story a cover. You can tell me what you think in the comment and of course what you think about the story too. And one more thing, I prefer to warn you, but English is not my mother tongue. I promise I will try to do everything I can to progress quickly, and it's the same for acting. I will promise to do everything I can. So this story is called One Danger Can Hide Another. Monday, March 16, 1911. Hello, my dear. I hope you are well and that you had a wonderful birthday evening last week. I am sorry again for my early departure, but you know me, adventure does not waste. I know you will not hold it against me as long as I tell you all my escapades in the tiniest detail, and I thank you warmly for that. Besides, you will never guess where I am writing to you from the ocean liner Mauritania. It is my very first crossing inside one of the giants of the sea. The place is absolutely magnificent, as luxurious as the Ritz in Paris. But if I am on board, it is not for sightseeing and even less to settle in the United States, but rather to accomplish an historic feat, to be the first woman to set foot at the North Pole. Barely 2 years ago, in 1909, the explorer Robert Peary and his assistant Matthew Henson seems to have achieved this goal, and a longtime friend, Professor Johnson, offered to take me with him and his team to repeat this exploit. He wants me to accompany them on this incredible crossing of the icy continent as a reporter. Although surprised, I was happy to receive his invitation. Indeed, he only mentioned it to me 2 weeks before the departure, even though he has been preparing for it for many weeks, even long months. But one of his assistants withdrew at the last minute, and rather than offering the position to another scholar, he thought of me. I know it may seem surprising that he would offer a place on this expedition to a journalist, and even more so to a woman, but he recognized my courage, my bravery, and above all, my adaptability, which can be very useful in any circumstances. Professor Johnson and I met during my investigation in Sudan a few years ago. I do not know if you remember, but let us return to the main subject of this letter, which, as it had not begun to present to you, my typewriter and my mind always wander too much. In short, a new case, a fine enigma, was offered to me during my voyage aboard the Mauritania. It was a joy for me because it allowed me not to go bored during the days of the crossing. Time can be so long when there is nothing to do except reading or contemplate the ocean and its horizon. It was while thinking about the boredom that awaits me that I met Mr. Green, whose first name is Hyder. He was trying to photograph the passengers bustling about on deck at the time of our first encounter. He was the one who came to me, introducing himself and explaining that he too was part of the trip and the expedition, but as a wildlife photographer. That was his specialty, and he traveled the world to take the finest animal photographs and to take part in the most beautiful excursions across the globe. Like many people, he had recognized me thanks to the article about my numerous investigations. We became friendly at once. A charming man, full of humor, and who did not belittle my condition as a woman. How could one not appreciate that? Thus, the first day passed without incident in Mr. Green's company. We spent a good part of our time talking about our different adventures while playing cards and drinking until late into night. We only returned to our respective cabins very late, after I sadly lost far too many time at the game. My head was buzzing a little when I went to bed. That had not happened to me in a very long time. I collapsed into my bed after a quick wash and only woke the next morning. As I was heading towards the dining room, I had the pleasant surprise of finding Mr. Green already seated at a table. He waved to me and invited me to join him, with a broad smile on his lips and a small grease stain at the corner of his mouth. He told me that last night he too had drank a little more than usual and had mistaken his cabin, finding himself face to face with a magnificent young woman brushing her hair. She had forgotten to close her cabin door and seemed as surprised as he was to find herself facing a stranger. Mr. Green apologized as politely as he could before fleeing to his neighboring cabin and falling asleep like a log. He was awakened by that famous neighbor the next morning. Hearing her moving around on the other side of the wall, he went and knocked on the door in order to apologize once more. And there, what a surprise it was when no one answered his attempts. Yet, he knew someone was in the cabin. What a strange behavior! He apologized as best as he could through the door and went to have breakfast. After that meal, each of us went our own way. I had a few articles to write for the press in view of this great expedition. I also had other texts to compose in order to recount my last investigation, the one that had just taken place in Berlin. Mr. Green, for his part, had to prepare his photographic equipment as well as some of his correspondence. Furthermore, if the weather allowed it, he wanted to take a few more pictures outside. The sea and its infinity seems to fascinate him. I could not blame him. There is something bewitching, hypnotic about watching the sea like that. I, who do not have the passion to even wait a second, could contemplate it for hours, admire the swell, the wave, and the reflection of the sun, the sound and the smell of the sea, indefinitely. We agreed to meet again the same evening to have dinner together. The day and its hours passed without accident. I wrote as quickly as my hands would allow, composing various articles and later. I love solving cases and traveling, but writing is not my cup of tea. You know, I shine far more when speaking, facing an audience, than alone facing my typewriter or my pen. Silence often went on me and prevented me from thinking properly. Therefore, I decided to go to the smoking room to write my lines. I do not like the smell, but the library was far too quiet, and the promenades with the seats were far too windy to write. The men looked at me with some surprise, but no one disturbed me all day, to my great delight. I do not like silence, but that doesn't mean I like being disturbed either. When 4 o'clock struck, I had a small snack before going outside to get some fresh air. This voyage filled me with joy. The possibility of seeing eternal snow and discovering a part of the world almost unknown to humankind fascinates me. 7 o'clock came quickly, and I hurried out of my cabin. So I do not miss my appointment. I arrived first, and Mr. Green arrived about 15 minutes later with a surprised, fleeting look that was unusual for him. He, who had always looked straight ahead since I met him, seemed lost, turning his head back and forth as he was searching for something. He sat opposite to me, carefully observing the slightest details of his surroundings. I asked him the reason for his sudden change of behavior, and he told me about the strange day he just had. Indeed, shortly after leaving me, he returned to his room and met his famous cabin neighbor, or rather, his famous neighbors, Lord Jones and his wife. He was very surprised to discover not a magnificent young woman as he had seen the night before, but a poor lady wrapped in a thick layer of bandage. That poor soul had survived an unfortunate fire that had just occurred in their home a few weeks earlier. When Mr. Green spoke of the young woman, Lord Jones laughed in his face, telling him to stop drinking and to go back to bed at decent hours. He and his wife has been asleep for a long time, and he promised he had not hiding another woman in the closet. Intrigued, Mr. Green knocked on the door to the left of his own cabin, the Johnson sleeping to his right. And indeed, a young woman was traveling in that cabin, but she assured him that he has not come to disturb her during the night. Mr. Green, after a burst of laughter, assures that alcohol was truly becoming his worst enemy. Tonight, he said, we would play accompanied only by tea and biscuits. But it was not over. Indeed, despite his confusion on that strange dream, since this morning, bad luck seems to be following him everywhere. Let me explain. You know, I am not superstitious in the slightest, and it seems Mr. Green is not either. Yet, since this morning, misfortune seems to cling to him. A gust of wind loosened a rope that nearly sent him overboard as he tried to take a photograph on the promenade. A vase narrowly missed him in the dining room and smashed into 1,000 pieces at his feet. That room is composed of 2 levels, and the photographer had taken advantage of the absence of an audience to photograph the different area of the liner, the wind preventing him from staying outside. While he was in the lower part, a vase fell from the upper level as if by magic, though no one was there. And then, as he was photographing the second-class lounge approximately 20 minutes ago, he felt a presence that pushing on the stairs. Catching himself at the last moment on the banister, he avoids the worst. Once again, no one was there. Anyone had gone to eat. And when he returned around to see who had dared play such a tasteless joke, no one was there. A ghost? A curse? He asked me, with a slightly nervous laugh. Strange, it is not? But he did not let these disturbing events spoil his evening, and nevertheless distract him at card. Lord Jones also joined us for a very few rounds. His wife remained silent at his side, simply watching. She seemed loving in appearance, and yet her eyes, the only visible part of her face, betrayed keen attention. She followed the slightest movements of the player's hands, as well as the smallest winning of her husband's. She left our company shortly before 10 o'clock, seized by a sudden fatigue. Lord Jones was an elegant man who paid very close attention to his appearance and to the words he allowed to leave his mouth. He wore a very fine suit, as did his wife, who, despite her burn, continued to wear an outfit that was more coquettish and most fashionable. The game did not continue as late as the night before. We part around midnight. I slept as Partie 10 et C3. I slept as usual like a baby, without interruption. The first-class cabins being well insulated and the blankets generous. The cold could not reach me despite the cool weather of this month of March at sea. The next morning, Mr. Green was already waiting for me at the table, looking even more crestfallen and worried than the day before. It was pitiful to see, and the bags under his eyes told me that his night could not have been very restful. Indeed, once again, a vase nearly fell on him while he was in Lord John's presence. Both were stunned, as well as the people around them, and they rushed upstairs, but once again, no one, nothing. Lord Jones tried to reassure him as they parted to return to their respective cabins. That was a lot of coincidence in so little time, don't you think? This is why Mr. Green asked me if I could investigate. He wants me to find out whenever he was going mad, whenever a ghost was playing tricks on him, or whenever someone wanted him dead. I was as intrigued as he was, because he was right. There was a lot of accidents for mere coincidence. Far too many. 4 accidental deaths narrowing a void in less than a day. That is a lot. You will not contradict me on that point. Having nothing else to do, My letters and articles already written, I agreed to help him and to investigate. It would keep me occupied, I told myself at that moment, without suspecting that someone truly wanted to kill him. And that's all for today. Thanks again for listening and watching the video right to the end. Please, if you like the video, don't hesitate to subscribe and give the video a like. See you soon for more adventure with Annabelle Underwood.